You guys, we're back with Asagao Academy. I'm sorry about the cliffhanger again. I'm really sorry. Oh my gosh. We're heading over to the boys' room. What are we doing? Someone's behind us. I don't know who it is. Is there a problem, ladies? We both froze. Scents of ham wafted through the air. Oh. Oh my god. It can only be one person, and one person alone, that smells like ham. Who is it?
Oh, Jared.
Oh my gosh.
Good morning.
Hello, ladies. Aw, Mr. Sparkle, how are you today? Is there something wrong with the door? Oh, no, we just... We didn't want to wake them up in case they were still sleeping. Jared let out a low-throated laugh. Yeah, today's the day of the tournament, isn't it? We have to go. We've been invited. I don't think they'd mind having you wake them up. What? Oh, ooh, lewd. Mai's eyes almost rolled into the back of her head. Here, allow me. He leaned between us and tapped on the door. He was surprisingly tall, and being some 10 inches shorter than him, he towered over me. He looked at me and winked. Girl? The door flew open.
Hey.
Hey guys, glad you could make it. Aw, Austin, how are you today? We'll be a bit squished in here, but it's better than nothing. What? We couldn't get the classroom this year. I jumped. Shane stood behind me expressionless. I didn't even see him come. Uh-oh, is this gonna be awkward after what happened yesterday? Ooh, I didn't think about that. Of course he's gonna be there, right? Yeah, turns out Hidden Block decided to book it for the same day. Wonder what for? John snorted somewhere in the background. That seems accurate. I'm not sure your room is better than nothing. Oh, Shane with the zingers. That wasn't a zinger. Are you just gonna stand outside or are you coming in? We stepped through the threshold, fully and completely entering PBG and John's room. Boy territory. We were out of our element. Mai had never been in the room before, and she glanced at the walls, shelves, desks like a manic squirrel. Oh my god. Her eyes gleamed, and I had the sneaking suspicion she was making note of what she saw for her own nefarious purposes, though what they were, I had no idea. Rather, I didn't want to know.
What's up?
Go on, take a seat anywhere. I looked to my left and saw boxers lying on a desk chair, blood shot into my face. It's just underwear, girl. Everybody, almost everybody wear underwear. Don't worry about it. As long as they're clean, then you're good. Or at least they look it. Were they used? Oh, well, never mind. PBG followed my gaze and turned red. Oops. Oh well, I mean, you know, there are worse things to walk upon in someone's room, trust. Let me clean up a bit. Pigsty. Do they have pigsties in England? Everything in America is derivative of England. That's pretty much true. And then bastardized. But we're in Japan. Shane looked at me blankly. Oh man. Man, we're so lucky the Wii U has 8-player stomp. Haha, the Wii U, I get it. That's pretty funny. I'm excited to crush you, Shane.
John sucks.
Did he really have to make a voice line for that? Oh, he was probably very happy to make it. Just the JonTron sucks. $5, he ad-libbed that. I don't think that's gonna happen.
Hey.
Hello, guess who's here? It's Gerard! Oh my gosh, the gang's almost all here. Gerard entered without knocking, a bright smile on his face.
Hold on, what?
Oh man, Shane got here before me? Did you fail to see me leave?
Yeah, whatever.
I was hoping you were in the bathroom or something. We brought extra controllers. Does nobody knock around here? Girl, they don't need to. They were invited to this damn thing, and boys never knock. Everybody knows that shit. No. Why would we? To be polite? Girls and their ridiculous social constructs. Do you see what I'm saying here? This is accurate. What? An intricate knot clattered through the entryway, and I pointed towards the door in defiance. See, someone knocks.
Good morning.
Hello, I brought bagels. Figured we didn't want a repeat of last year. My stomach grumbled and she turned red. That's what I thought. Aw, Satch, always thinking about others. Good job, man. Ah, that's my husband.
What?
Oh, maybe not.
You're perfect.
You're the best partner anyone could ask for. You are truly the best of us. Can't you just ask for one normally? I brought enough for everyone. Jared leaned his head against Satch's shoulder, then turned to whisper in his ear. I knew I could trust you. Okay, well then, everyone pick a place to sit. We'll hand out bagels and then we'll get started. I scuttled to the side of the room against PBG's bed and next to Mai. We'd been sitting with them at lunch, but it wasn't until just now that I realized how crazy having all the normal boots guys in one room could be. Yeah, I imagine so. 9 adolescent men in one room. Are you thinking what I'm thinking? Harem time! Not to mention all friends, all part of the same club. Their personalities mingled in different ways, and I almost couldn't focus over the myriad inside jokes, shouting voices, and flailing limbs. That is, until the character selection screen came on. In the blink of an eye, the controllers were gone. PBG glanced over at me and, noticing I didn't have one, offered me his. Oh, isn't he sweet? No, really, I'm not good at these kind of games. There's no way you're worse than me. Or Jimmy, for that matter. You do not talk shit about Jimmy in front of me. Oh my god. It's offensive. Seeing as he didn't want to take no for an answer, I grabbed the controller and selected my character. Turby. He was cute and bouncy. Even though he didn't seem super powerful, he looked like an easy enough character for a beginner to grasp. Although, there was something in the eyes and beak that seemed a little...
Yeah!
Is everybody ready? No, you have to pick Jiggly. Jiggly's the best for beginners. Or Cheepachew, right? Just do it. I swallowed hard, the controller already slippery from my sweat. I never played Stomp before, though I watched others do so. I looked at the buttons on the controller, trying to guess what button did what. One of the top buttons probably jumped. Obviously the analog stick moved. They selected a stage, something with cute little houses and smallish animals bopping around the background. Animal Crossing! And the countdown began. There were buttons on the back that clicked when you hit them, but I didn't know what they did. 3. Oh, there was a weird blue button on the top right, but not the left. 2. And another analog stick? What was that for? The camera? How could we all control the camera at once? 1. Oh no! Go!
Ah!
Die, Shane, die! What the hell? Attack everyone, not just me. But you're my mortal enemy. Oh. Josh, what was that for? I wasn't even fighting you. You were wide open and death waits for no one. You're next. The battle began, and in a display of slight mercy, the boys left me alone to wander the field and get a sense of my character. Oh, that does jump. I hit the jump button again. Oh, girl. You are not... You're not making a good showing. Watching my character float higher and higher towards the sky.
Yeah.
I can fly. My joy was cut short as a Noke ball emerged from nowhere and pegged my pink blob in the eye. I fell off the side of the screen, and despite trying to jump back up, it wouldn't let me. Oh, why?
Ah, look at you.
Turby can kind of hover for a while, but eventually he gets too full of air and has to land. Otherwise, he'd be OP. Oh. When in doubt, down B. Down B? Yeah, that's the rule. In the commotion of the match, curses and death threats mixing with the clack of controllers, nobody was listening to what Nick was saying. The key to getting someone to hear you in this commotion, it seemed, was shouting their name at the beginning of your sentence. Gerard! Satch! I frowned as my pink little blob fell back onto the map. Following Nick's advice, I hit down B. A cloud appeared around my pink guy and he became a rock.
What?
Oh, Kirby's the best. What would a rock do? I repeated the move multiple times, always turning into a rock of some sort on the ground, never hurting anyone near me. Suddenly an explosion rocked the ground and Turby flew into the air just as I hit down B.
No!
To my surprise, he formed into a rock and fell directly onto John's head. His Nario was sent flying off the screen and died. Oh no! John must really suck. You're on my shit list. I'm very sorry. It didn't take long after that for me to die 5 pitiful, painful deaths. But as my little Turby tumbled off the screen for the 6th and final time, a small surge of pride hit me. I killed John, the JonTron, even if by accident. I handed my controller to Mai and sat back completely satisfied. If it weren't for the fact that it was Mai's turn, I'd jump back in, eager to find some other strategies for murdering my friends and potentially stirring up a hit list a mile long. So this was the joy of games. After playing a few rounds, the official tournament started. People played one-on-one matches against each other, slowly thinning out the competition over time. Mai went before me, and was, rather unfairly, paired against Jared. Every blow he doled out to her was, in her mind, some form of actual physical contact, at least judging by the way she shivered when she was hit. Unsurprisingly, she died almost immediately. Aww, oh no. I was the last person set to go against PBG. The others chuckled as we were past the controllers. Don't worry, Hana. PBG's the easiest out of all of us. You're bound to beat him. Aw, come on guys, don't worry Hana, I'll go easy on you. I nodded as PBG picked the most level playing field, a small platform floating out in space. Oh, final destination! The match started and PBG graciously held his player still. Oh, that's nice. Go ahead and test your moves. Maybe you should show your moves. Aw, that's real nice of you, PBG. Oh my god, this is just like what Yoshiller did when I was in the Smash tournament and then he promptly killed me afterwards. Yeah, real nice. I tested my moves, and while doing so, my hand brushed against the yellow stick. Turby did a menacing low kick, and my eyebrow raised. That looked powerful. Ready to go?
Yeah!
I think so. PBG charged at me across the screen, and when he came close enough for me to hit, I pushed the yellow stick in his direction. He flew across the screen, my mouth fell open. PBG grit his teeth. I see how it is. No more Mr. Nice Guy then. I partially doubted that PBG had a non-nice bone in his body, but the match had begun. It was a long battle, a surprisingly long battle. We seemed to be evenly matched, right up until the very end when I smashed him off the screen with Turby's hammer. What? I set the controller down quietly, not particularly happy about having crushed PBG in my second ever match of Stomp. Uh-oh. You know how boys get with their video games too. They're very, very crazy about them. They have a lot of pride. PBG nodded solemnly. I guess I lost then.
Whoa!
Damn, Hana, that was some natural born talent right there. I don't really think so. Anyway, the next match is Shane versus Paul. PBG remained quiet for a while after that. It wasn't until the 3rd round that he joined in again, cheering with the rest of the guys. My match rolled around, but this time I was against Jared, and this time I lost in only a few minutes. I set the controller down again, happy to no longer have responsibility over the life and death of inanimate pixels. As I did so, I saw Paul lean in to whisper something to Shane, whose eyes flew wide open, then his face shut down. What's that about? Ooh, what could they be mumbling about? Over my dead body. Their eyes slid to me and I looked away. What? They were talking about me, weren't they? I scooted over to Mai, feeling more comfortable near her than near any of the guys. We cheered for Jared right up to the very end. He lost to a supernaturally agile Shane, who was seemingly being fueled by the rage of 1,000 demonic toddlers. Everyone, that was a great round. It looks like we're in even better shape than last year. Well, all of us except PBG. That was uncalled for. Totally deserved. Anyways, I'm tired, so get out of my room, please. He grinned broadly, not finding anything wrong with how he summarily dismissed us. Mai and I gathered our things and left the room with the others who, laughing and joking, dispersed in all different directions. Oh man, I hope PBG's, feelings aren't hurt. That would suck. Together we shuffled home. We fell through the doorway exhausted with barely enough energy to change into our PJs. Mai leaped onto her bed with a happy sigh. Oh, Hana, I'm so glad you came to Asagao. As if this couldn't have happened without me here. Mai shoved her face into her pillow and emitted a muffled reply. Yeah, whatever you say. I fell into my bed, staring at the rungs that kept my inner mattress from collapsing onto me and smothering me to death. That was really fun. Video games are fun, Mai.
Really?
Really? Yes, they are. She shuffled around on top of her bed. I mean, I thought it was okay. It was passable. Don't know if I'd call it super fun or anything.
Really?
No? I loved it. She chuckled. Seems like you found your calling. I'm sure I have. Above me, Mai yawned.
Let's just go to sleep.
Yeah, you guys have been doing it all day with only a bagel. That's not great. Smiling, I got up and turned out our light.
Good night.
Good night, Hana. Good night, Mai. As the chill weather of early spring faded and warmth stretched across Asagao, I itched to go outside. With Satch's book in hand, I took to the streets. Since many people realized how rare this moment was, most of the usual benches and grassy spots were taken. I kept walking until I came to the soccer field. There was a practice game being held, and PBG and his friend Jeff were running across the field. Being a skirmish, the bleachers were almost completely empty. Students scattered the shiny metal seats, but there was more than enough room for me. In one swift motion, practiced many times over my life, I sat down, spun my backpack into the space next to me, and pulled out my book. I was nearly done with it and wanted to see if I could finish it today. It was due a few days ago, so I was under pressure. At a pause in my reading, I looked up to watch PBG on the field. A shock of color at the base of the bleachers caught my eye. It looked like some kind of metallic candy wrapper, and a pang of annoyance struck me. There was a trash can nearby. Why litter? But as I jumped down the steps of the bleacher, and nearly slipped off one, it became clear that it wasn't trash. The colors changed as the angle of the light did. What's that then? It was an iridescent purple figurine, itty bitty, and a kitty. Was it Gerard's? He was the only person I knew who collected them. I held it up to the nearest student who shook his head. I was free for a while. Gerard was really into the IBK scene, so if it wasn't his, he'd probably know who it belonged to. One problem, I had no idea where his room was. Oh. Conveniently, at that moment, PBG ran off the field to get a drink. I approached him, holding the kitty in front of me like a talisman.
Hey.
Oh my gosh, look how cute Austin looks in his soccer uniform. Aww, that's adorable. Hey, PBG, do you know Gerard's room number? I think he dropped this. I held the kitty up again, and it glimmered in the sun, much like PBG just now, what with all his physical activity. Girl? Oh, Gerard was just here. It has to be his. I asked him to bring me my goalie gloves. I wasn't ready to take Jones' place today. His room is right across from mine. Oh, great. Thank you so much.
Hey!
Hurried up, PBG. Jeff, what's up, brother? PBG groaned. It wasn't much of a break.
See ya.
Gotta go. Good luck. He took a huge gulp from his water bottle, then poured the rest on his head and jumped back into the game. His teammates patted him on the back as he rejoined them. I placed the IBK into my uniform's pocket and headed to Bluebell. As I entered Bluebell House, a passing boy frowned at me. Was I even allowed to be here by myself? I shook my head. There was no time to be afraid. Today, I had a mission. Just as PBG said, there was a door right across his room. I knocked and fished the IBK from my pocket. Uh-oh. Shane answered the door, not at all pleased to see me. Hi, Shane, how are you? He was Gerard's roommate? Oh, why was he Gerard's roommate? I tried to laugh to defuse the situation, but it was weak. I felt like I was only making things worse. I didn't know what went on in Shane's mind. Girl, don't worry about it. Just do what you're there for. He won't mind. He looked at the IBK in my hands. Oh my god, sorry. There was a really loud car that just went by. Jesus Christ. Gerard should be back in a few minutes. Okay, I'll just wait in the common room. When he gets back, can you tell him to try and find me? I could read downstairs. Even if it took Gerard an hour to get back, I could keep myself occupied. Shane sighed and leaned against the door frame. I could tell him, but it would be much easier if you waited in here. He put his hand out, gesturing me inside. Alright, thanks. Oh, this is a nice room, isn't it? I entered the room and stood smack in the middle of it. Shane plopped into a chair in front of what must have been his desk. I sat down in what I assumed to be Gerard's chair on the opposite side. Shane swiveled around and started to click something on his laptop. Seeing as he wasn't much for small talk, I turned to observing the room. Their room was well decorated, one can say. There were a lot of itty-bitty kitties, each arrayed neatly with a brethren of similar design. Every empty space not filled with school-related objects was covered by the pads of a cute little cat, or at least a sealed box of one. Even parts of Shane's shelves had IBK on them. I had to admit, it was kind of endearing. Something about the dedication required was sweet.
Hey!
Do you collect itty-bitty kitties too? Not really. They're Gerard's. I don't mind. I see. It's kind of niche. I'm surprised you're into them. Oh, no, I don't collect them. I just found this one on the side of the field. PBG said Gerard was there earlier, so I came to find out whether it was his. My hastiness to disown the figure did not go unnoticed by Shane, who made a face at me. If it's not Gerard's, he'll probably know whose it is, right? It's probably Gerard's. Oh. I smoothed my thumb over the plastic kitty absent-mindedly. Shane returned to whatever he was doing online, and I conversed with the figure in my hand. Who's a pretty kitty? Who's a pretty kitty? You are. Gerard came back about 2 minutes later.
Hey, Shane.
And Hana? He held 2 coffees in his hand. Suddenly he turned pink. What are you two doing in here? Oh my gosh, nothing like that. Girl, please. Everyone jumping to conclusions. Alone? Together? We're not doing anything. Hana was looking for you.
Really?
How can I help, Hana? He gave a coffee to Shane and offered the other one to me. Oh, isn't Gerard sweet? Here, take mine. I would have gotten you one too if I knew you were here. That's really nice of you, but no thanks. I just came to see if this was yours. For what felt like the 10th time in the last half hour, I displayed the itty-bitty kitty.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yes! Gerard almost dropped his coffee as he leaped forward. I lost this today. Where did you find it? It was near the field. PBG told me you were there earlier, so I wanted to give it back to you. I handed the figure to Gerard, who looked about ready to kiss it.
You're the best.
Thank you, Hana. Thank you. You didn't have to do this, but you did, and I don't know what I would have done without you. It wasn't any trouble at all. It looked pretty rare.
They're special.
It's not as rare as you would think, but it's still very special to me. I'm so glad you were the one to find it. Aw, Gerard. I shouldn't have been so careless. Girl, it's fine. We all lose things from time to time. Don't beat yourself up about it. What matters now is that you have it back. Maybe zip up your pockets next time.
I promise.
Bet I'll take a load of precautions to make sure this never happens again. Aw. He placed it delicately on the shelf with other kitties that had the same iridescent properties. Gerard looked at me while I viewed his hard-earned assemblage.
Right.
Oh, duh, Gerard, you dummy. How rude of me not to at least introduce you to my collection. Sorry. In this room, I have 247 itty-bitty kitties of every shape and size. Oh my goodness! This is the newest set, the Catastrophes. They're a band. They're really popular right now. I traded my rare extras for these the other day. The one you brought back to me is from a set of 4 that are called Opalescents. Currently, they're the only shinies. They were so pretty. My gaze fixated on them. I'm just missing the last Opalescent. It's a purple one. Princess Pumpernickel. I've tried everywhere, but no one has them in stock. But there's only 3 copies in the world, so it's not really surprising. Ooh. It's more surprising that I managed to get these ones. I have one of the most complete collections in the world. People think that the Kitties Company gives me the newest figures, but I earn all my IBK. I can tell this took a lot of hard work. I'm amazed at how much effort you've put into this. He sighed heavily and sat down on his bed.
Complete it.
Thanks, Hana. I just wish I could get that last figure. I could finish my collection and the kitties would all have their friends together in one place. Aw, isn't that sweet? I wish I could help. Don't worry about it, Hana. This is my battle to fight. I bet this is probably part of the route for Gerard if you want to start dating him. Something about finding that cat, I reckon. I nodded, then glanced at my watch. I'm sorry, Gerard, though. We're going for PBG
See you later.
in this one. Oh, I should go. I really wanted to finish my book today, but if you ever need help, I'm here. I stood up, then waved to the both of them.
Bye.
Bye, Hana. Thanks again.
Bye.
See ya. Thankfully, I managed to finish my book. It took more time than I expected, though, and by the time I got back to my room, it was dark outside. When I opened the door to my room, the lights were off. I flicked them on, and the huddled form of Mai hugging a stuffed purple bear appeared on a bed.
Hello.
I'm back. Mai, what's the matter? Mai glanced at me, then buried her face again in her bear. Was she sulking? It was unlike her to be so unenergetic. Girl, what happened? Tell me everything. Are you okay? That doesn't sound very okay. Mai glanced at me again, her face a light shade of pink, like she was holding her breath. You know, you can tell me anything. You've helped me out a lot, so it's the least I can do in return, right? Besides, we're friends. Mai sighed and threw the bear on the floor, where it lay as if screaming in agony. It's not fair. She sighed again. I know it's terrible to think like this, but even though I'm really happy for you getting to be friends with those guys, it's just not fair. Those guys? Who? The Normal Boots Club?
I can't believe this.
It's just that I've been a fan of them for so long, and I've loved Jared forever. And then here you come out of the blue with your pink hair, and just like that, you're friends. Uh-oh. Oh, girl, don't be jealous. I'd be happy to introduce you to everybody and have you be friends with them, too. She snapped her fingers in front of her face. But here I've been trying this whole time, and Jared didn't even know my name. Girl, oh my gosh, she really likes him so much. That's so sweet. I know I'm being stupid and I feel bad, but still. Mai. Uh-oh. Oh. Oh dear. Okay, let's say something nice. I hope this doesn't have anything to do with the root. Shit. No, this is what I would say to make someone feel better, because they are. I think. Mai smiled weakly at me. They wouldn't be my friends if it wasn't for you. Mai, I'm going to sleep. She turned over and closed her eyes without even taking off her uniform. Uh-oh, did I say the wrong thing? I turned off the light and walked to the bear she threw in the middle of the room. I'm sorry, too. I said it quietly, but even as the words left my lips, I knew they were a lie. Oh, dear. Despite our slight confrontation last night, Mai was as peppy as usual the next day. It seemed like there was no reason for me to worry, but that didn't mean I didn't. The bell rang and class started. Miss Shizuka wrote Origami Flowers on the board in an ornate script, then turned to glare at the class.
Class?
The flower festival is only a few days away. It's time again to start folding flowers to sell for the school. We do this every year, guys. I don't want to hear any groans. You're free to write me an essay on the importance of these funds on the school, if you'd rather not participate. A few students rolled their eyes, but I smiled. It sounded kind of fun, and I hadn't folded origami in years. I'm handing out practice sheets because I know how bad you guys are at origami. I'm only going to teach you once, so pay attention. Shizuka returned to the front of the class, picking an ornate green paper. As she instructed the class, I realized that these were the most basic version of origami flowers. I was already familiar with them. I folded my practice paper with ease while Shizuka roamed the room, helping the students who struggled to follow along. These creases are weak. Kindergarteners could do better than this. Hell, my ex could do better than this. Oh, she's so salty. Sadness passed across Miss Shizuka's face. Oh, Lord. She turned to the boy next to her and slammed her hand on his desk. You need to be better. Be better for everyone's sake. It seemed like quite a few students were having trouble. I went to the front of the class to get some new paper, passing John on the way back to my seat. His paper caught my eye.
Hey!
You folded this the wrong way. Your flower is going to be narrow if you keep going. I'll be honest with you, Hana. I have no idea what I'm doing. Help me. He kind of looked like he was about to cry. I knelt by his desk, unfolding and refolding his paper. This looks perfect. You're so good at origami. Did you have to make flowers at your old school too? No, I used to do origami a lot when I was younger. I guess muscle memory just kicked in. Thanks, though.
Really?
Really? What an odd skill to have. Is it? Please. John clasped a hand around my wrist. Stay with me. Help me. Sure, if you need it.
Yeah!
I knew I could count on you. Thank you, Hana. You're a goddess. I spent the entire rest of the class period slowly doling out lessons to John and PBG. I offered to help Shane, but he turned away from me, instead watching over John's shoulder. I kept my movements large and exaggerated so he could see too. It was nice to feel useful. When class was over, I headed back to the dorms with Mai. We had a long night ahead of us filled with homework and the possible reward of chocolate ice cream should we finish on time. But before I got far, someone called my name.
Hana!
Oh hey Jeff, what are you doing? Jeff, is everything okay? Hey, the Normal Boots Club has a meeting today and PBG forgot to take his soccer uniform with him. He held up a blue and gold uniform. He won't have much time to change before practice if he doesn't have this, and I have to run down to the field. Can you take it for me? Of course we can! Mai grabbed the uniform from Jeff. Awesome, thanks! He dashed towards the field, my turn to meet me, victory running through her face.
Yay!
Finally! A chance to see Jared in his element! Come on, Hana, we've got to hurry! We approached the Normal Boots Club room, hearts thumping nervously. At least, I assumed Mai's was. Judging by the way she was fidgeting like a hummingbird on acid, it was. We stepped up to the door, and we were about to knock when I heard my name on someone's lips. Hana. I froze and turned to Mai. Her face was lit, and she pressed a finger to her lips. She leaned in closer to the door, and I followed suit. Dude, I think it's fine. What do you think she's gonna do to us? You need to calm down.
No.
But it's so... pink. No one has hair like that.
Huh.
People can't choose their hair color, Shane. That's a really poor reason to judge someone. I know, but I don't trust people with pink hair. You know there's more to it than just the color, don't deny it. Oh dear, are they talking about me in the room? What? What is this about? Weird things always happen around people with pink hair.
Ugh.
Sure, but they're not dangerous.
Hmm.
Aren't they? What is this prejudice? I didn't realize there was some kind of stigma against people with pink hair. Because hers is natural, right? They kind of iterated that in the beginning, that it wasn't dyed. My heart sank. I stepped away from the door, unwilling to hear more.
Hana.
Uh-oh. Oh dear. I held up my hand and shook my head. Just when I thought I was beginning to win Shane over. Was this how he truly felt about me? I'm heading back. But... I stepped past her, walking as quickly as I could back to the dorms. Oh dear. Luckily, I didn't pass anyone on my way back. I didn't think I could manage small talk without bursting into tears after what happened. I kicked off my shoes and went to set my backpack down by my desk, passing the mirror. I paused as I did so, turning to the mirror, evaluating myself on a whole new level. So much grief. My hair caused me so much grief over the course of my life. Now, for some reason, Shane thought I was suspicious. Oh my gosh, this speaks to me, but not about hair, guys, trust. I smoothed my hair with my hands, the shortness of it catching me by surprise. It was softer when it was long. With a sigh, I turned away and collapsed onto my bed, hugging Mr. Bunny to my chest. Should I dye my hair, Mr. Bunny? I raised him up, staring into his glassy eyes. Yeah, you're right. I rolled onto my side, squeezing Mr. Bunny to my chest. Oh, girl, it's all right. Satch said it himself. You don't choose your natural hair color. Mr. Bunny was small against me, and I smiled at him. At least he still liked me. Shaking my head, I went to my desk. I had better things to do than mope. Oh, dear me. You're still studying, Hana? I took my headphones out of my ears and turned to Mai. Our plans for that evening were postponed, and I silently thanked her for not pushing me to keep to them. I wasn't in the mood anymore. Yeah, it's only been a few hours. You haven't moved since I left the room last. She climbed her bed and dangled her hands off the side. At least take a break, okay? Well, I have been meaning to return the book I checked out. It was overdue, and I had to do it at some point. I was going to do it today, but after what happened, it was the last thing I wanted. That didn't make it any less overdue, though. Go do that. Meet me at dinner afterwards. If you're going to spend the rest of your life studying, at least be nutritionalized. I stretched, bending backwards to apologize to my back for the hours of arching over her desk. I would have a hunchback by the end of my school career, I was sure. You're right, I'll go. I'll see you at dinner. It was pretty late when I got to the library. No one came at this time unless there was a term paper due. Since it was still relatively early in the year, the room was barren. Satch was working the desk, as I expected, but he was joined by PBG and Paul. Oh no. As soon as I saw them, I turned around, trying to walk right back out, but...
Hana.
Hey, Hana. Unfortunately, my hair also made me stick out like a sore thumb. I reluctantly joined them at the counter.
What's going on?
What's up? Not much. I'm taking a study break to return the book I checked out. I took the book out of my bag and handed it to Satch. That book? I can't help but notice you're reading The Princess Betrothed. It's good, isn't it? Yeah, I never would have read it without Satch's suggestion, so I have to thank him. He nodded and put the book on the to-be-sorted shelf. No problem. I don't work in the library for nothing. I have another suggestion for you if you need one. No thanks. I want to get back to the dorms. Oh, come on, it's almost dinner. Let him check out this great book for you, then we can all go to the cafeteria together. Well, alright. That was the last thing I wanted to do. But I was really bad at showing people I didn't want to talk. Oh, me too. Holy crap. Follow me to the fiction section. We set off through the library on an epic quest for adventure and fortune. My mind raced, trying to think of a good excuse so I didn't have to follow them to the cafeteria. Here it is, the Banana Club. What? What the fuck is that book about? He pulled a bright yellow book off the shelves. The Banana Club was written across in a bold font. Now, I know it sounds stupid, looks kinda stupid too, honestly, but trust me, one of the most moving books I've ever read. The ending crushed me. He put a fist to his mouth and blinked rapidly. Don't cry now, Satch. I'm gonna stop before I spoil everything. He handed the book to me and I gazed blankly at the cover. Thanks, Satch. Hana? Huh? Are you alright? You don't look very well. I wasn't, really, but of course there was no way I was going to tell Satch that I eavesdropped on their private conversation. I am just feeling a little under the weather. I conjured a fake cough. It sounded pathetic. I think I'm going to skip out on dinner too. I'm not feeling well enough. Satch narrowed his eyes and nodded. If you say so. Do you still want to read this book? Yes, I do. Your suggestions haven't failed me so far. Okay, let me check it out to you real quick so you can get back and rest. When we got back, PBG and Paul were off on the other side of the room, Paul waving a book vehemently. Satch stepped behind the counter and grabbed my book. You know, if something is bothering you, or you're still getting used to the school, we're all here for you to talk to. I know. Transfers have it hardest around here, and everyone knows that. I nodded. He passed the book to me and I put it in my backpack. Oh, Satch, he's so sweet. Just don't be a stranger, alright? I won't. Thanks, Satch. I'll see you tomorrow. I waved goodbye to him and made my way back to the dorms. Well, I'm gonna have to wave goodbye to you because this went longer than I wanted. In the next one, I hope Mai feels better. We'll have to figure out what to do. Jeez, I hope this doesn't continue with Shane. We'll have to see in the next one, though. See you later, guys.